Yes, my dear friends, in this lesson we will examine the Arduino codes of our project. Unlike our other lessons, I will explain the codes I wrote before for you. Before we start reviewing our code, there are some things we need to know. If we are going to read the data we sent from Python via Arduino, we need to define a variable of type char in Arduino. Also, in order to read the data coming from the serial port in Arduino, we need to start the serial communication. This is done with the serial.begin function. Takes a single parameter. This parameter is the serial port speed. After activating the serial port communication, we must check whether the data is sent using conditional structures. It is the serial.available function that should be checked in conditional structure. In cases where no data is returned to this function, its value will be 0. In case of data coming, the data will be different. For this reason, we would check whether this function is greater than 0 and act accordingly. Next, we need to call the variable we created and read the serial port in this variable. Reading is done with the serial.read function and takes no parameters, and finally we will check whether the data read is the same as the data we want and control the LED diode. Now that we have the knowledge, let's examine the codes we have created now. When we examine our Arduino codes, we first observe that we have created a variable named incoming data in char type. So here is our incoming data variable. And this is because when data is sent from Python, we will read the sent data and assign it to our char variable as it is sent as bytes. Next, we assign the pin to which our LED is connected to the variable named LED pin. So here is our LED pin variable, and we are using second digital pin of Arduino board. In our setup function, we started our serial port and set its speed to 9600. Let's remind again. The serial port speed in Python should be the same as the serial port speed that we specify in Arduino. So here is our serial.begin function, and its speed is 9600. Otherwise, data transmission is not performed. If you want to learn the port to which our Arduino board is connected, we have to follow the steps of tools. So move to the port, and here is our port node throughout the IDE respectively. Of course, we set the pin to which our LED diode is connected as an output, so here, in which we will control the LED. When we examined our loop function, so here, we created our condition, so which is if, and checked serial.available is greater than 0. This is because if sending data from Python, the value read will be greater than 0. If data is not read or sent, the value read by the serial port is 0. For this reason, this process is controlled by the serial.available function. Considering that the given is sent, the action we need to do now is, of course, to read the incoming data. We use the serial.read function for this. So here, we also use this function to read the incoming data and assign our function that reads the incoming data over the serial port to our variable named incoming data. Now that we have read the data and we have created the necessary conditions for LED control, when we look at our if condition and else if condition, it means turn on the LED diode if the incoming data variable is equal to letter A. So here, if the incoming data variable is equal to the value B, so here, the LED diode is turned off. Alright my dear friend, we have successfully reviewed Arduino codes of our project. So now let's move to our next lesson and let's test our code.